Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about cross-cultural understanding, especially for EFR learners in Indonesia. First of all, let's clarify the course background. Why do we need to study cross-cultural understanding? Because language is inseparable from culture. Language is a part of culture. We know that communication, language, and culture cannot be separated. Therefore, because we are learning English as our foreign language, we should also learn its culture. Nah, sekarang budaya yang mana nih yang akan kita pelajari? What and which culture do we have to learn? In this course, we will not only discuss native speaker cultures, but the English-speaking people whom you might meet here in Indonesia and come from various nationalities whose English proficiency affected by their culture. Nah, sebenarnya apa sih cross-cultural understanding? What is cross-cultural understanding? Cross-cultural understanding is the basic ability of people to recognize, understand, interpret, and react properly to situations or incidents that may lead to misunderstanding, miscommunication, or even conflict due to cultural differences and unawareness. Now, let's discuss the aims of CCU. The first one is to help students to develop an understanding of the fact that all people exhibit culturally conditioned behaviors. The second one is to help students to develop an understanding that social variables such as age, sex, social class, and place of residence influence the ways in which people speak and behave. Jadi bisa membantu siswa nih untuk meningkatkan pemahamannya bahwasanya variabel-variabel sosial seperti umur, jenis kelamin, kelas sosial, ataupun tempat tinggal sangat mempengaruhi bagaimana seseorang atau masyarakat berbicara dan berperilaku. The third one is to help students to become more aware of conventional behavior in common situations in the target culture. And the fourth one, this is very important. It is to help students to increase their awareness of the cultural connotations of words and phrases in the target language. Jadi bisa membantu siswa dalam meningkatkan pemahaman terkait makna-makna kata ataupun frase-frase tertentu. Next, the fifth one is to help students to develop the ability to evaluate and filter generalizations about the target culture. The sixth one is to help students to develop the necessary skills to locate and organize information about the target culture. Jadi bisa membantu siswa mengembangkan skill-skill tertentu yang kiranya dibutuhkan dalam mengelola informasi. The last but not the least is to stimulate students' intellectual curiosity about the target culture and of course to encourage empathy towards its people. What is culture? There are so many definitions of culture. To sum up, culture is a sum of attitudes, customs, and beliefs that distinguishes one group of people from another. When we are talking about culture, we should also consider cultural relativism. Nah, apa sih cultural relativism? Cultural relativism merupakan teori yang menyatakan bahwa a culture can only be understood on its own. What does it mean? It means that standards and beliefs from one culture should not be used in the study or even description of another culture. Jadi, tidak seharusnya kita menggunakan standar atau kepercayaan suatu budaya tertentu ke dalam studi atau deskripsi budaya lain. Because it will cause some problems. Nah, sekarang kita ambil contoh ya, misalnya when the same form has different meaning in two cultures. Jika ada suatu kosakata yang memiliki makna berbeda di dua budaya, meskipun kosakata itu sama. Misalnya, For example, in Indonesia, a foreigner learning Indonesian would be baffled by the word kita. In standard Indonesian, kita is inclusive we. But if the foreigner goes to Makassar, kita can also mean you. And if she or he goes to East Kalimantan, kita means you as well. So, can you imagine if we use a standard of a certain culture in a study or description of another culture? Yep, it will cause some problems. There are some terms that are useful when considering cultural difference. The first one is acculturation. It is the process of adapting to or adopting a different culture. Ethnic refers to membership of a group linked by race, nationality, language, or a common culture. Race, a socially defined population that is derived from distinguishable physical characteristics. We also have stereotype, and this is the notion that all people from a given group are the same. Now let's discuss some elements of culture. As I have mentioned before, that language is one of culture elements. We have also some other elements of culture: dress and appearance, food and eating habits, music and dance, time consciousness, interpersonal relationships, beliefs, attitudes, and many others. Now, let's clarify some useful tips for communicating across culture. The first one, try to be complete and pay attention to the other person's response. The second one, avoid metaphors, jargon, and slang because we need to define and learn more jargon, slang that we must use first, yeah? What is jargon and slang? Jargon is used as a shorthand by people in the know to make communicating easier. There are some examples of jargon. In business jargon, we have bang for the buck, a term that means to get the most for your money. Code 8, a term that means officer needs help immediately. FAQ, frequently asked questions in internet. Slang. Slang is very informal language or words used by a particular group of people. For examples, God, and this is actually a compliment which stands for greatest of all time. For example, we want to say, I don't care what you say because Tom Brady is the God. It means that Tom is really great. Basic, a put down describing someone or something that is not very interesting or highly evolved. For example, when we want to say those boys are so basic, why do they all want to dress the same? Or fam, which means a group of close friends. For example, when we want to say I'm going to hang with a fam, it means that I'm going to hang with my close friends. Other examples of slang. We have bye Felicia, and this is a fast way to tell someone to go away. This term comes from the 1995 movie Friday. For example, when we want to say, no, I will not go out with you. Bye Felicia. It does not mean that your friend's name is Felicia, because it is just a fast way to tell someone to go away. Next, killing me. This is a phrase not meant to be taken literally, yeah? Because when someone says that something is killing him or her, it normally means really hurting. For example, my legs are killing me after that run would mean that your legs were hurting. Now, let's go back to the useful tips for communicating across cultures. The third one, try to be clear. The fourth one, if a word or concept is not understood, do not repeat it or even increase your volume as if the listener has a hearing problem. Jadi, jangan malah meningkatkan volume suara kita seolah-olah pendengar kita punya masalah pendengaran ya. Yang kelima, paraphrase. Ask the listener to confirm information or directions in their own. The sixth one, try to be aware and open-minded. Open-minded sangat diperlukan ya. Learn more about values, beliefs, habits, and ask the locals to show you how things are. Choose words carefully. Respect the basic rules of correct grammar and standard syntax. Be careful with jokes and humor. So we have to be careful with jokes and humor ya, because a certain joke in a certain place might not be a joke in the other place. And the last one, value silence. That's it for this video. See you for the next videos ya. Thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.